What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use open source AI models like Llama and Mistral without hosting them on your own PC or system, how you can have them hosted for you in the cloud and use their API in your applications, in your software, in your workflows, automations, whatever the case may be, absolutely for free. This is going to save you a bunch of money. Let's dive right into it. All right, guys, so why did I actually come about looking for this solution or really just doing this? Well, first off, I use OpenAI's API, I use Perplexity's API, I use, Claude's API, I use all these closed source models API, and they're great. I love them. They're very useful, etc. But it's definitely good sometimes to leverage the open source models too. And for specific tasks, you may not need the full power of a GPT-4o or a Claude AI. Now, don't get me wrong, at the moment, those models still are top tier above the open source models, but the open source models are really good. And for certain tasks, for example, in my specific case, maybe if I had a bunch of text that was just really just eating up my tokens with other API models, and I'm ending up spending a couple $100 a day just on this one little task per se, when maybe the task is just summarizing a block of text or really just categorizing something, right? That is just a bunch of text, a bunch of tokens for really no reason. It's just using some basic intelligence, right? So for that specific case, something open source or free or low cost would be useful, right? And I want to say this isn't a perfect model as of now, right? There are some rate limits that go about using this model, and it's not something that's necessarily new. It's somewhat new, but I mean, people have heard of it. I've done videos in the past, but I haven't talked about using the actual API, and it is through Groq. So Groq with a Q, not Groq with a K, not Elon Musk's Groq, but Groq with a Q. And I've done an in-depth 45-minute video going over like their new chips when they first came out and how fast they are. And these are basically the fastest chips pretty much in the world that we know that are open to the public and anything like that for, these AI models. And it's super fast. Like you can go to Groq.com and it's really nice because yes, you can use their models like Llama 3, 8B, Gemma 7B, all these models right here, Mistral, for free, and you can chat with them. And you can see here I was asking it about the API here, about some of the rate limits and stuff like that. So like I said, there are some limitations here. There is a paid version coming, which will be good for those who want higher limits. But yeah, I'll show you how you can leverage their free version, and it is definitely useful for specific use cases. But you can see here, you can test it out like, hey, write me a story on a bear that loves honey, make it funny, right? And I'm just typing something here just to show you guys how quick this AI is, or these chips are really. This is obviously, boom. So you can see the speed here, speed, insights, input tokens, output tokens, inference time, input seconds, 0.58, output time 0.44. So in total, 1.002 seconds. Tokens per second, input, output, etc. Right, so you can see that those details there. You can change it to bullets, expand, sentence, professional. So this is cool. You can actually tell it to improve upon like a chat and make it more neutral tone, friendly, professional. Copy it, scroll to top, etc. There's like Discord channel and all that good stuff. But basically, what we're going to be using is over here. You actually have to go to wow.groq, so WOW.groq with a Q.com. And that will show you kind of like, you know, they have enterprise access here. You could apply for, you're not going to really be doing that unless you're a big enterprise. Price right here. So Groq guarantees to be any published price per million tokens by published providers of the equivalent listed model. So that's really good to know. And other models such as Mistral and LLaMa are available for specific customer requests in your inquiries here. And here are the models: LLaMa 370B 8K context length. So yeah, also limits. I mean, these are open source models, so they're not the highest context length in terms of like what we see with stuff like Claude or GPT-4o, but here's definitely, it's definitely cheaper. So yeah, Mistral 8x7B SMO 32K context length, so a little bit higher there if you need a higher context length. And then LLaMa 7.8B 8K context length, Gemma 7B 8K context length, and you can see the pricing here. And they also have Whisper large version 3, where you can see all the costs associated there. And you may be saying, Josh, you told me that it was free or there's no cost. Well, currently, if I go to, you're going to click on Groq Cloud. All right, here you can see like their playground where you can access the models here, change the temperature, max tokens. There's 2 modes you can enable, such as stream, that returns the completion in a stream rather than waiting for the completion to finish and returning it all at once. There is no support for JSON mode when toggling when streaming is toggled. And then JSON mode, so this basically guarantees that the output is a JSON object. Top P, speed, and then stop sequence if you're using that. But here are the documentation. We'll get into that in a second. API keys. So this is where you create your own API key. All right, so API keys is very simple. It's obviously just where you go create your API key, and that's where you will be using that API key. So we'll be using that in just a second here. But if I go to settings and billing, you'll see that as of now, there's only a free plan. The pay per token on demand plan is coming soon, and this includes higher rate limits, priority support. To be honest, even though like a free option is great, once this comes out, if I'm really using Groq, I'll definitely use the pay per token plan, just because I don't mind spending money and I'd rather just have higher output, higher rate limits. But in terms of like small use cases on applications, like you can't build a whole software with lower rate limits, etc. Depends on your rate limits and all this, or how much rate limits you would need. But the free plan's really good, especially just for using it for specific use cases, etc. So here you can see that the on-demand pricing that we were looking at on the other page here. So for the LLaMa, it's 59 cents per million tokens on the input, and then the output is 79. Mistral is 24 on the input and 24 on the output. LLaMa is second LLaMa is 5 cents on the input and 8 cents on the output, 7 cents here for Gemma, 7 cents on the output as well, and then 3 cents per hour transcribed for Whisper. Okay, so that's the pricing once the on-demand does have that feature come, or the plan come out. As of now, you got to stay on the free plan. If we go to the documentation here, you can see like if you're using it within your app, or whether you want to use JSON, curl, JavaScript, Python, etc. It has documentation for all that. Mainly, I'm going to just be showing you how to authenticate it in something like, well, really anything, but I'm going to be showing you specifically in N8N. Same concept applies to make.com or really anywhere, but this is just connecting to the API, doing a completion, etc. So you can read up here. I'll leave the docs in the description down below, different information on errors, change logs, examples, features, so chat completions, OpenAI capabilities, speech to text, tools, integrations, so Groq libraries, LangChain, LLaMa index, so pretty cool stuff there. And then rate limits are shown here. Rate limits. So yeah, the rate limits. And then if we go to API reference, this is where we want to go. And here we can see our different options, our different endpoints. So really the main one that we'll be using is, I'll show you in a, well, it's chat completions, create a completion. There's also ones such as list models, which, I mean, I don't need to use that. Maybe you do for some reason. And retrieve model, which we don't need to do. We're just going to be creating a chat completion, and it's very simple. If you've connected to APIs before or done API requests, very, very simple. We're doing a post request to this URL right here. We can see here the different options we have, such as frequency penalty, function call. This is no, like, you don't want to use this anymore. Appreciated. And then let's see, max tokens. So yeah, these are the ones that are required, obviously message and model. And then, you have all these other options. You can look at them, and it shows you the sample request here, as well as the sample response. And you can change that from Python to JavaScript just to make things really simple. Like, especially when you have like these AI tools at hand, such as especially now Claude Sonnet. If you haven't seen Claude Sonnet's coding capabilities and all the crazy cool stuff, 3.5, of course, check out some of my other videos. I did some cool videos on that, going over it. But just to save me time, like I know how to connect to APIs. I could easily just read this and figure it out. I mean, it's very simple. It's just right here. But just to like, even though like it's the exact details are right here, I always just like to go, which I did, to I like to go to like an AI model. So I did this with Claude, just because it's the best with coding. And I just said, read the AI API docs on chat completions. I want to make an API request to Groq using JSON. Explain to me everything, what I need to do, and the JSON format. So I just wanted it to give me the best JSON format, just so I don't have to, look and see what I want to add, even though it's very, very simple. And then it just said, and then I said, wait, here's the reference page. So it gives me the endpoint, which we already knew, but here it is. Authentication. So very simple. You're just going to use authorization and then bearer your API key. This is if you're passing it through the header or whatnot. For N8N, they actually have a kind of native integration. So you just put your API key. I'll show you that in a second. Then we're doing a post method for the request. And then this is like sample JSON. And it just basically shows the key parameters here that we could change, such as model, message, temperature, max tokens, top P stream. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. It gives some additional options, etc. But we are going to, let's see. So let me just show you how this looks like. Very, very simple. This applies to whatever platform you're using, whether it's N8N, whether you're using the command line, or you're using actually building an application. It's very similar, but just to connect to the API, of course. So here I'm just adding an HTTP request, and we're doing a post method, and we're putting our URL, Groq/OpenAI chat completions. Now for N8N, if you're using N8N specifically, you can go predefine credential types. And then you can just select Groq, or you can type in Groq. They have it here. And then you want to go here. Actually, no. So you would click on this drop down and you would create new credential, and you would put in your API key. API key, like I showed you, is available right here. You just go here, create a new API key, submit, and then it will give you that API key. You must copy it before you exit it, or else you won't be able to see it again. Then you paste it over into N8N or whatever you're using. Like I said, for something where you doesn't have maybe a native one like this, or where it doesn't already have predefined credential type, you're just going to put authorization. Like, say if I was sending a header here, I could just do that and put authorization. I'm not gonna, authorization, I spelled that wrong. And then put bearer, and then my token key would just go here. And that's, I could do that as well, but since N8N has it predefined already, I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to delete this, and we're not going to send any headers. We're just going to send a body, and the body, actually, I'm just going to send this. So let's just see how this works. This says just say test. So here we go. We sent it and we can see the output. So we get the chat ID, object, created, model, choices. So message, assistant, test. Is there anything specific you would like me to test or elaborate on? I'm here to help with questions you may have. Just say test. See, test. Oops. Say, oh gosh. Just say test. Just say this word. Don't say anything else. See if we can actually get it to just say test. Okay, perfect. I feel like closed source model, even if I just said just say test, it would probably say, let's see. So go here, let's go just say test. It's probably yeah, just gonna say test. So obviously we're using open source models. They're not as good. You kind of have to be very specific with your prompts. That's one thing I'll say when you're using these open source models. You're gonna have to talk to it more of like, it's a toddler, it's a little kid here. It's, you know, you're not talking to Mr. Big GPT-4o or Claude Sonnet 3.5 that can completely understand everything. And obviously they're not perfect either. Sometimes you think, oh, you're dumb. How do you not know this? But you know, these are like, you're basically talking to little child AI bots or models. I mean, yes, they're still very good for open source, and open source is making a lot of progress. And you know, I'm excited to see where this goes in a year from now, but just keep that in mind still. They're not as perfect if you're used to using GPT-4o or Sonnet, even though those aren't perfect either. But so with your prompts, be very specific. Anyways, you can change the model here if you want to try different models, and then there you have it. That is pretty much it, guys. I wanted to just share with you how you can actually use Groq in your builds. And you know, I'm also going to be looking at different alternatives as well on how you can leverage open source models, or models that, you know, for specific tasks, you may not need the full firepower of these like GPT-4o or Sonnet, and it's just really eating up a huge token cost. All right, because yes, it can stack up if you're doing thousands and thousands of things every single day, and you're dealing with large text blocks. And still, this isn't a foolproof strategy just because we're limited with rate limits at the moment. So if you're doing like huge amounts, you can't, it's not scalable, but it is really good. You know, you don't have to host open source models on your own system, just host it in the cloud using Groq's fastest AI chips. So this is something I feel like definitely could be of value to you and your builds. And if you got some value from this, let me know in the comments down below. Smash that subscribe button. We upload videos every single day on AI tutorials, automation tutorials, marketing tutorials, you know, running paid ads, outbound prospecting, how to leverage marketing in your business, whatever the case may be. So if you're a business owner, AI enthusiast, entrepreneur, whatever, smash that subscribe button to stay tuned on the daily uploads. Also too, guys, if you haven't already joined our free community, stridecommunity.com, we have about 750, 800 members in our free Facebook group, free Discord channel. Check that out, link in the description. Also too, guys, if you're new here and you haven't already checked out my book, Client Acquisition Code, it's super value packed about leveraging AI and all these stuff in your business. I have a full chapter just on AI prompting, and I go in depth with meta prompts, all these different things like copy and paste, word for word, prompting strategies, frameworks, etc., as well as like marketing, Facebook ads, running Facebook ads, how to not get banned running Facebook ads, how to set everything up, how to do cold email campaigns, scale with multiple accounts and thousands of emails a day. A lot of stuff. I put so much value into that book, so go check that out if you're into it. And then other than that, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's. Oh, also too, guys, if you do want help growing your business, book a call at executivestride.com/apply. You can check out some of the other videos on this YouTube channel. We help our clients grow and scale their businesses in many different ways. If you have leads coming in and you have someone that's booking them like manually, we help some of our clients set an AI appointment setter in their business that will book them directly into your calendar, so you can literally just sit back, potentially fire that person or get them on different tasks so you can save thousands of dollars a month. We have a bunch of other stuff we do for our clients, helping them with systems, automations, etc. But if that sounds like something of interest to you, that there could potentially be a fit, then book a call down below to speak to myself, and we can see if there's potential partnership there. executivestride.com/apply. Other than that, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.